What's up, y'all? Your boy is back. Now, in today's video, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, we're going to be talking about whether or not should more artists go independent, or in general, should artists be independent as opposed to joining a label, signing to a label, whatever. As far as I know, from what I've seen from, people like Russ, people like Chance the Rapper, whatever, even Mac Miller, so many different artists, they have been able to do way more with their music, and I feel like they've been able to share their music more and reach a wider audience with their music, being independent as opposed to being on a label or being signed to somebody. Because the thing is, when you're signed to a label, signed to a specific contract or whatever, more often than not, they have you under a strict, you have to drop an album in this certain time period, or you have to drop all these like different songs or singles, EPs or whatever, in a certain time frame. And sometimes it could, there can be consequences if you don't meet that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as an independent artist, you have way more creative freedom with your music. I feel like a lot of the artists that we have now, like established artists, not up and coming, but established artists who are signed to these labels, they get sucked into just doing basically the same thing over and over and over again, and you can tell when you listen to the music. A lot of the music sounds the same. A lot of the music is of course being used from like previous work, but at the same time it's still the same. You can still hear elements of like something that they've done before, but with, as an independent artist, you can actually go in different directions with your work, and the people who support you, your true fans, your core fans, they won't look at you crazy. You know what I'm saying? They won't be like, okay, you made a hip hop song today, tomorrow you making a dancehall song, and then next week you making a country song. It's like you're actually experimenting with the music, as opposed to being a mainstream artist, being somebody who is signed and having to stick to one genre, and that's all people really know you for. And in the moment you decide to switch things up or try to experiment, people are looking at you like you're just trying to, be a culture vulture, or, switch up or whatever. I feel like, in the sense, for example, since we're going down that road, let's talk about Drake, right? Can you imagine if Drake decided he wanted to be an independent artist? I feel like Drake, he's at the tippity top, right, of the game, right, of the music industry, honestly, right? You can't go anywhere without anybody talking about Drake. Whatever he drops, whether it's an album, a single, a feature, or whatever, everybody who is anybody is checking for Drake. Even people who don't like Drake are talking about Drake. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of that, I feel like if he was an independent artist, his creative freedom that he wants for himself, right, it would be it would be off the charts, right? And I feel like people wouldn't look at him the way that they do now, right? Because the reason why I feel like people look at Drake the way that they do now, when it comes to him like switching his flows or accents or whatever you want to call it, I feel like it's because it's the way that he goes about it. But in his mind, he's showing appreciation and showing, gratitude to these other sounds and these other different genres of music or whatever, which is always great. But at the same time, you have to make sure you're giving credit. Now, in Drake's music or whatever, a lot of it, it's basically him taking a sound, using it for his own gain, and then dishing it away. That's the problem. And I've realized that ever since 2016. You guys remember when Dram dropped I like to cha-cha, I like to cha. I never forget when that song came out, and I instantly loved it. Had that joint playing for like the longest. Next thing you know, Drake comes out with Hotline Bling, essentially the same damn song, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this not Dram? And that was the first thing that came to my head. I was like, wait, is this not Dram right here? And of course, being that it's Drake, and being that he's able to tap into the melodies and everything, you saw what Hotline Bling did, and from then on, he just, you know, started going to these other places and adopting these other people's sounds and using it for his own music. And it hasn't really flowed as like a, oh, I'm going in this direction right now, and but you guys know my core value or the music that I'm mostly known for making. It's like, no, today I'm gonna sound like Drake, tomorrow I'm gonna sound like I'm from freaking Afghanistan or something. It just doesn't make sense, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you are an up and coming artist, again, please make sure, if you decide you're gonna be like, I'm gonna sign a contract, or I'm gonna look at you know, these deals that these labels have for me, make sure that you have an actual lawyer, okay, and make sure you have somebody who's reading these things with you and going through these things paper by paper, line by line, look at all the fine print and all that before you truly decide that this is what you want to sign. Because again, the moment you sign these contracts, that's it. You know, for some of these contracts, that's it. You can't renegotiate. You can't fix things. You can't, I want to add this. I want to do this. No. All right. So as far as, again, being an independent artist, I feel like that the main thing that I really, really like when it comes to being an independent artist is that creative freedom. You know, that freedom to create whatever it is that you want and not feel like you're tied down, not feel like you have to make a certain type of song or a certain type of album or a certain type of sound just to please people. You know, you can make, you know, a certain type of sound for right now, and then if you decide, you know what, I like this, I would like to take these and incorporate to my own sound and see what I can do with it, and people rock with it. That's the main thing that I love about being or would love to see more people do, being an independent artist. Now, as a mainstream artist, if we were to see more mainstream artists go independent, that, again, the creative freedom, because again, music is art. Music is a form of expression. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of the talented artists, right? They're not really allowed to express that, you know, and that's why I really, really appreciate The Weeknd's music so much, because even though he's not an independent artist, obviously, but even though he's not an independent artist, he's still been able to express his creative freedom. He's still been able to go into any little direction that he wanted to and still keep the core fans and keep the people that really rock with his music, because they know how talented he is. They know that he's not just a one-dimensional artist, and they know that, okay, if he decides he's gonna, you know, all right, this year he's making one kind of sound, and then the next year it's a different kind, it's okay, because that's what he can do. You know, we know what he's capable of. With these other artists, we know what they're capable of, but because of the contracts, because of the labels, and for some of them, because they just get so complacent to making the same stuff, they don't really try to do anything different. And you can hear it in the music. A lot of it is like the same stuff. A lot of it is, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, so that's the problem that comes with just being, you know, a mainstream artist, or just being somebody who's on a label. But I would love, even if you are on a label, I would love to see a lot of these mainstream artists, a lot of artists in general, period. I would love to see more artists try to do different things, try to be different, try to just experiment with different sounds, try to tap into different genres, try to, you know, just, you freaking love music, make different music. You know, you don't have to make the same stuff over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, if it works, it works. But at the same time, even if you're making stuff that works, try your best to make something that sounds a bit different. Even though we know it's the same, at least make it sound new. And I feel like that's why things work so well for Drake, because we know the formula, we know what works for Drake, and whenever he drops something new, it sounds like, okay, he took his time for some things, it sounds like, you know, okay, he had some time with this, you know, he experiments a little bit, all right, cool. He stuck to the same formula, but like different things, different elements are being placed in it and all that stuff. So that's all I'm saying. More independent artists, man. just, you know, I would love to see that. I would love to see more independent artists. I'd love to see, and again, I'd love to see more artists in general just express themselves. You know, just try to, when I say express yourself, I'm talking about in the terms of music. All right, we just solely talking about music. All right, I'm not saying go on Twitter and go on a freaking rant about stuff that'll destroy your freaking career. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. All right, so I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. You guys let me know in the comment section your thoughts and your opinions on independent artists. Would you like to see more artists go independent? Are you an independent artist yourself? Just talk to me in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed today's video, do make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more. As always, John the Squad. Thank you for watching. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.